Hello, everyone, and welcome to, I guess, the quantum realm. Um, so I'll change the screen here in just a second, but I just wanted to go over a couple different things that I found here recently. So let me just bring this up so that you guys aren't losing your mind over here with the endless loop that is created. Um, so one of the things I want to share with you guys is something I sort of discovered and wanted to kind of get your input on and see if this was something that you thought maybe this could be legitimate. It might be a stretch, but I think it's worth at least exploring. So the first thing that we got some news here about the magic mirror, right? And obviously this is a really cool card. We got the purple goodness here going on. Essentially, you can, if we're reading this right, you basically tap four. Well, I'm sorry, you tap this and you pay for, and you get to draw a card. This gives you the ability to get some resources pretty early, um, assuming this game goes long, which, if you're paying for, it kind of gives me the feeling like this game is going to go on for a little while at least. I don't think we're going to be having any 5-minute games here or there. Um, I think ideally in a world, I'd like to see at least 15, 20-minute games. Maybe that's just me being optimistic. Um, but I digress. So I saw the magic mirror and it kind of reminded me of something. I was like, okay, well, what if we have something going on here? Maybe this is something that they're trying to tell us. So we've got the mirror. Well, I had made a comment a while back about some things with Lorcana and specifically related to a game. This game being the Disney Mirrorverse. Now, if you've ever seen this game, it is essentially, it's like one of those RPG like mobile games where you like bring up your characters and make them all beefy and strong and everything like that. So, one thing I noticed that was really interesting is that some of the characters shared some similarities with some of these icons that we've had here. Um, Obviously, here we have Olaf with an interesting symbol, Cruella de Vil, another interesting symbol, Stitch, another interesting symbol there. So as we go through here, I started to realize, okay, well, these symbols actually are really, really close to certain other things we've seen here. Um, Specifically, the symbols here in Lorcana. Um, Most notably here, and let me actually go over. Um, I guess we'll just have to do this the hard way here. More specifically here, like even looking here at Emerald, you see the almost exact same design as you do in the other one here. I'm going to scroll through here. I had moved some of these around to sort of give you an idea of possible different shapes that are kind of hiding in here. Like, for example, this one kind of looks like there could be maybe a couple hearts, upside down, and then there's an arrow kind of through this. If you look at some of the other ones here, this kind of looks like maybe like a space nexus type of thing. This one I can never unsee. I mean, it's literally it looks like Mickey's eyes. So I hear, and then the big part of his eyes, and then this would be like his head. I'm sorry if now you can never unsee that. So this one I turned upside down. I was like, oh yeah, this kind of looks like maybe like a family gathering, a family like hugging it out. And of course, in the center here, maybe you see a little bit of a heart. And of course, that makes sense with Stitch. Ohana means family. Family means no one gets left behind or forgotten. There's those Mickey eyes. This one I had said, kind of resembled either Scar or Jafar when he was like putting together the scarab. I was like, oh yeah, maybe. This one I think I said looked like what was it, MGM or something? If you turned this upside down, and it was like the palm tree was right there, and then they sort of like the entrances to the building. But yeah, here's the thing I had posted here before. I was like, I wonder if there'll be some similarities between the character design or theme of what they do in these games. Um, Again, we had like the Magic Mickey over here with his his golden outfit, and of course, obviously in Lorcana we've got the purple Mickey. So again, I don't think it's so far fetched to be like, okay, And then the second one here was from Sorcerer's Arena, which they've had a physical release since this. But um, so some of these images are not in order, so I apologize for that. But essentially, Mickey is going through this situation and he's trying to defend basically from these attackers coming from this area. They refer to these as, I think, the fractured or something. Anyways, this scene right here looks eerily familiar. Like we're talking like eerily familiar here, because we go through, we see, oh, this looks like space, right? Okay. And that's fine and all, but we get to the point here where Mickey is summoned and he sees, look at this, darkness, right? And here's Mickey trying to fight off the darkness as we approach into the first chapter. So I'm wondering if there is some kind of connection here between this darkness and Lorcana. Perhaps they do exist in the same universe. Here we have Sorcerer Mickey, and then we have Golden Mickey. Now, in this game, Mickey has an ability where he can heal. So that's kind of neat. And again, could actually see some, implications here, given the fact that we've recently confirmed that there are, damage counters and that just continues to stack. Um, so essentially, one of the things you do in this game, you can get crystals and you can throw them into the mirror. Yes, the mirror, in case, there wasn't a reference there earlier. And you can get one of these characters. Um, and this is where it really kind of got interesting to me, because again, like I said, these symbols really look like they could be part of Lorcana in general here, folks. Um, Now, like I said, I do have them on another page here, but like, seriously, let's pull up, Sapphire, and we have this blue, which is referencing a tank, or, even amber. It looks eerily similar to this. I know it's not the same color, I get that, but I'm like, okay. So this is the melee. So this is like the class that does a lot of like, physical attacks, things like that, and so on and so forth. And, one of the interesting things about this here is, in yellow, we have this arrow. And then again, we kind of see that arrow here in Sapphire as well. And they are emphasizing that yellow, or the arrow here, is a ranged attacker. So that is interesting. Um, so let me continue to go through here. I really do want to point out the fact that this one right here, it looks a lot like, I'm going to maximize this. And here we go. We're going to maximize that and then jump over here. Maybe. I know. This is some difficult stuff. All right. Olaf. But yeah, so we have like the emerald thing over here, but then we also have, like I said earlier, we have this. They both have the same little star thing. You can kind of see it down here. I know it is what it is, but this person is a support. So they're the people that are doing a lot of like healing, things like that. You're not going to see them doing a lot of like close combat type of things. That's going to be reserved for this, for the melee. The tanks are going to be the ones taking the damage. These ones are going to be doing like distance damage from afar. And again, I mean, that makes a lot of sense if we're talking about things like, Robin Hood. So again, the fact that there is an arrow literally, in this kind of makes me think, okay, maybe this is connected. Um, all right, so we're gonna keep going through here. I'm just gonna show a few more images from this thing here. Here they talk about melee and how they're represented. It's actually really funny that they have this character here, and their main weapon's the frying pan. So it's like, oh, that's great. Of course, they're saying that in the initial version here, he is a ranged character. Then we've got the support. One of the interesting things that I saw about this is one of the first characters that they introduce as one of the villains is Maleficent. So this again interesting, given the fact that one of the first cards they revealed to us as the biggest, baddest villain was in fact Maleficent. So they sort of start off with this. Now, keep in mind, I have not played through the Mirrorverse except for like the introduction. So I am definitely not schooled in this, and I actually encourage you guys go check it out. Maybe you can find some things in there that kind of allude to maybe some new information. Um, but yeah, so with that being said, another interesting thing is the very first part of this game is referred to as Chapter 1. So yeah, um, interesting stuff. All right, and again, here we see him about to basically um, go into this whole um, Mirrorverse type situation because the piece was shattered. Um, and then we see all these sort of interesting characters. They're saying that it was home to heroes and villain who existed in a state of peace, which is again interesting. Um, and then here we see something very similar to, the Dreamborn slash Floodborn sort of differences, because they're like, oh yeah, here they are, familiar yet different. Yeah, Belle, before, after, Storyborn, Dreamborn, or maybe Floodborn even at this point. It is interesting. Again, you see like some of these items on them. Some of these may actually represent some of the gems or things like that they have. So, for example, this could be amber, for example. You know, and we've seen that before on certain characters like Aladdin. Um, so yeah. All right. And then here's just a few other kind of looks at the game. Again, the support little symbol, Oogie Boogie, the tank symbol there. Again, the melee symbol, which is Mulan. And I'm like, seriously, I mean, she's red too, like, that the card that we've seen. I'm just like, oh, that seems really fitting. Of course, we've got more of the range stuff. Yeah, Donald Duck. Donald Duck's a tank, people. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of interesting sort of concepts here, and I think perhaps there is obviously speculation here, folks, but I think that there could be something to be said with looking into this. It could give us some more insight into the information. I know it's not necessarily something done by Ravensburger, or Ravensburger, or Ravensburger. But with that being said, um, there could still be some things where things are being pulled from this. And I would really think that we might see some similar things, at the very least, some of the character designs, because there are some really cool looking characters in this game. Um, but yeah, so I don't know. What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear it. Um, and what this might mean for the potential of this game, being able to, have these fantastical reimaginings of these characters. Seems like it could be a really great, thing, honestly. So, but yeah, let me know. Of course, comment, subscribe, and all that other stuff. But most importantly, enjoy the game. I know it's not out yet, but it's still exciting to sort of think about what it could be, and what this could mean for the future here. Spring is coming, as is the darkness, and Mickey's got to fight off that darkness. You know, again, he's got this hand thing going on here. You know, he's ready. You know, he's he is ready to take on that darkness. So definitely check this stuff out and give me your thoughts, give me your opinions. I want to hear it all, seriously, because like this looks pretty sweet. You know, we have different characters here. Like I can't wait to see a Baymax in this game. Seriously, um, I mean, it's exciting times. So, anyways, yeah, again, rate, comment, subscribe, all that other fun stuff. And as always, remember to keep calm and game on. Thank you guys, and hope to hear from you soon. Later.